Let's bring in Colorado Democratic Congressman Jason Crow, an Iraq and Afghanistan veteran, Bronze Star recipient, member of the Intelligence and Armed Services Committee, and he warned his party was in danger of losing the election without a, quote, major change when Biden was still running after that disastrous debate against President Trump. Congressman, thank you very much. It's good to have you here, and thank you for your service. What do you make of this? Obviously, there's a lot of books coming out with a lot of, not very flattering details about the condition that President Biden was in, which you alerted people to back then. Why do you think he's doing this big push? He's going to be on The View tomorrow. And do you think it's helpful to your party?
Well, thank you for having me back. The former President Biden, raises a good question. What the hell is going on here? I mean, the substance of the matter is important, too. The rhetoric coming out of Donald Trump in the White House is absurd, invading Greenland, invading Panama, engaging in these culture war issues like renaming the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America, which actually isn't going to make the price of eggs, the price of housing, isn't going to make anyone's life any better.
I'm happy to discuss those with you, but my question was what you think politically for your party, and we'll get back to the other issue in just a moment. Do you think it's helpful to your party that he is out there on the BBC and tomorrow on The View when the party is making it pretty clear that it wants to go in a very new direction?
I'm not bothered by it. It doesn't really make much difference to me. I mean, I'm saying what I'm saying. I'm calling out the president when and where I think it's appropriate. I'm talking about the issues that my constituents are most concerned about. I am presenting an alternative to what we've seen with Donald Trump. Right? He's not reducing the cost of goods. He's not addressing the cost of housing. He's made the world a more erratic and unpredictable place. The economy is in turmoil. The business owners that come to me, they say they can't do business like this. One day there's a trade war, the next day there isn't. Everyone's 401ks are going up and down, up and down. The lack of any predictability is just crushing small business owners.
So with regard to Panama and Iceland, the issue isn't just, I want to take it back because I want to grab territory. The issue is that China has extended its growth influence in so many places around the world that President Trump says he wants to reclaim some of that influence around the world because he feels that China basically controlling the ports in Panama isn't a great thing for the United States, and a similar situation in Greenland. So as someone who obviously looks at the world and understands the military potential conflicts around the world, why isn't it a good idea for us to push back against China's very big expansion and influence around the world?
Yeah, I actually agree with that concept. I agree with what you just said, that we do need to be more assertive. We do need to reclaim some of the influence and push back on China. Absolutely. Yeah. The problem is that there's been an overcorrection. I thought the last administration, I thought President Biden could have done more. I pushed him to do more and to do it differently. This administration, I think, has swung drastically to the opposite direction, in maligning our allies and saying things that undermine our integrity of a country and the fact that we're a democracy that believes in sovereignty of other nations. So, there's a middle ground here that actually is where we need to be.
Well, maybe that's where we'll get.
To be tough.
I mean, obviously, this president feels like you have to kind of go pretty far one way in order to get what you want somewhere in the middle. So, Congressman Crow, thank you very much. We're out of time, but it's great to have you here today. Top of the show coming up.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.